Consider yourself lucky. I unplugged my torpedo. Where is it? Well, shit. Somewhere over here in the floor is a torpedo heater that I unplugged to make this intro for you guys so that you could hear me. Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. How's everybody doing? So behind me is a Ford Ranger that we have bought off Marketplace, even though I'm not finished with the other things that we have bought off Marketplace. Sort of not finished with, anyway. Carrying on. This is a Ford Ranger. It is a XLT trim level that I've just discovered. It is in pretty rough condition overall, but it was $350 with a title. So this has the fiberglass step side bed on it, which I don't like the step side beds, so this is what it is. Covered in scratches. There's a squirrel house in the bed of the truck. We kind of bought it sort of sight unseen. Is that a freaking, what is that? I don't guess it's anything. I thought that was a $50 for a second. Like a 50-cent piece, but I don't think it is. That might be a quarter, but I'm not picking that one up. I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit. Not happening. This stuff is coming off. This door handle is broken. We have wire, like coat hanger wire, around the antenna, and the antenna is it's a arrow. Okay. Now, one of the things about this truck, let's see, it has, it doesn't run, of course, but this has the 2.3 that is not the good 2.3. This 2.3 is the time and chain driven 2.3. Sorry, I had to fight with the hood prop for a second. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't really like these 2.3s that are time and chain driven. The older 2.3 that was time and belt driven, oh, fantastic engine. You could just beat on those all day long, and they took it. I see a lot of failures with these, believe it or not. In my area, to buy one of these engines used, you're talking $1,600, $1,700, $1,800. So I'm really hoping that this engine is okay. Looks like we got a vacuum line coming off right there. No battery. Battery cable ends are gone and corroded. It's okay. There's a trash bag. That might be holding something imported in. I don't know. Yo, look, more zip ties on the grill. I don't know what it is with trucks I've bought recently, but zip ties and wire ties on the grill. Now, getting over to her not so pretty side, I don't know what happened here. It looks like, I don't know if that was just the primer that Ford was using or what. So I don't know what happened. Maybe if it was in an accident early on in its life, and this was a replace or a repair job, you know, like they repainted the fender and the door and just didn't use a good quality of paint. Another broken door handle. It's dirty. It smells like mice. It looks like mice. Holes in the seat. Oh, those are my pliers to get the key out. It was stuck. Fuse box cover's missing. She's reading 218 on the odometer. The headlight's in good shape. And I don't know if it works for the rest of you guys with Rangers, but it works for me. This light is always missing. Every one of them. In the standard cab trucks, that light is gone. It's broken. The lens is broke. The switch is broke. Something's broke on it. So to have that light, you know, if the rest of the truck's a pile of crap, we'll just send it to the scrap yard. And I'll take the light out and put the light in my other one. It's got a 5-speed Manuel transmission. It does have a CD player. How about that? That was fancy stuff to have no other options. I caved in. I had to plug the heater back in. It's just too cold. Charlie was complaining. You good now? You good? Okay. So the little bit of backstory we got with the truck, he drove it for a long time. The clutch went out in it. Him and a friend of his pulled the transmission out in his front yard. They put a new clutch in it, and I think they put a rear main seal in it, and the truck worked fine, but he said it started to leak oil shortly after, and it continued to get worse until it just was making puddles. So if you look underneath there, the rear main seal has dumped a puddle of oil, and then we've also got some coolant dripping because it sat here over the weekend untouched. His dad's been in Tennessee. So let's see what we can do. Dad's got us a battery in here, and he's throwing some cable ends on it, and we're gonna try to crank it over and see if it'll pop off on ether or something. A little bit of Cosby sauce. Battery's in. Loose enough. Yep. All right. Yeah, clutch. Huh. I hear relays clicking. No turnover.
I'm gonna try it again. Let's put the key around just to make sure.
Still nothing? Huh. Okay. So we had a fuse down here, a 7.5 was MIA. Gas pedal. All right. Give it a little gas. Hey. All right. Oh, it's showing.
Kind of gas.
It ran. Sounded quiet.
Try it again.
Sure. Throttle. Not too bad. Well, that confirmed the fuel pump is dead in the water. Find a fuse. We stole one from another spot, but I'm pretty sure we're pulling this bed and putting a pump on it. Motor was good and quiet though, at least. So was the exhaust. So I don't think it's rotted out anywhere. Dad's gonna source a fuse. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're pulling this bed though. But yeah, that sounded good. I gotta take that one off to figure out which one it is. So Dad's sweeping out the bed. Fuel pump is gonna be shot in this thing. And luckily the bed's in pretty good shape. Bolts are a little crusty looking. We'll hit it with some Freol and see if those will come loose. And being a fiberglass bed, I'm almost thinking if he gets them loose, unplugs the taillight harness, we might be able to just lift this thing straight up off of here and set it to the side.
Bolts come loose on the bottom. They're about that long.
Yeah. Believe it or not, all the bed bolts came right out.
Really?
Except, I don't know why you're asking me. You're the one that did them.
My bad. I thought you were talking about the Honda. I'm so sorry.
I said, all the bed bolts came out. And you're like, really? And I'm like, well, you're the one that took them out. All but two. Two snapped.
And that both the same one here and here.
Yep. So you still got one in the very back and, of course, one in the very front. So really not too worried about that. You still have 4 bolts, one in each corner that'll hold it on. Catch my breath for a minute. There's the pump, tank, rear end, exhaust, rusted out shock,
Back
broken back. There's the bed. So we just took the roll cart outside and Dad picked up on each side of it and walked it right out. The worst part was them damn mud flaps. Because they sit so far down, the bed does, and then plus the mud flap sits further down. But it wasn't too bad. So there it is. Let's get our screwdriver. So the bed's off. Now we can take that pump out.
Oh, you imagine what that's going to smell like?
Oh, it's not going to be pleasant, but it's out.
Charlie said it'll be all right.
What do you think, Charles? What do you think? Big stretch. You got eye boogers. You need your eyes wiped. Hang on. Old fuel pump is out. New fuel pump is in. Had to get a replacement ring because this one split. She was a little old and dry. It's all right. Plug it in. Plug it in. Let me hook this breather back on so you got a map sensor. And yeah, I think go ahead. Oh, I hear it.
I hear a pump. Oh yeah, here we go.
She's whining.
Ready?
Yep. Hey, hey.
Oil gauge.
Does it not work?
Well, it rolled sometime or another when it passed a pin.
Oh yeah, you told me that. We might can grab that with a magnet.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna let you.
And roll that back around. I get some big magnets here and we'll try it. So this Ford is no exception, but Buicks were really bad about this happening years ago, like on the Park Avenues and stuff. That thing will roll over, and what you can do is you can get a couple different magnets. I've got one of the stick magnets here. So that one's not strong enough. So I got a magnet block. Oh, look at that. Just kind of find the sweet spot and work her back around. No, come back. Oh no. Oh, we fucked up. Oh, we fucked up. Oh, we fucked up. Look at that. Now, let's try to start it again, see if it works. Look at that, instant oil pressure. And that's how you fix the gauge for no money. You just get you some magnets. Got the bed put back on it. Looks like a truck again.
There's a tag on there.
Oh,
That tag. Let's go drive right around the edge.
cool beans.
You drive it. Same drive. Great.
I heard it do a burnout at the end of the road.
It didn't have the oil leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, drive around me.
Well, a little bit, but not bad.
Well, a lot of it could be right oil leaking, you know?
That's what I'm wondering. Oop, handbrake. Oh, wow. Look at it go. Hey, the steering wheel There's something on the camera lens. I think that's an improvement. Hey, it's running and it's moving. Chalk this up as a win. Good oil pressure. Temperature hand hasn't moved. It's either low on coolant or the gauge don't work. Might just not have ran long enough too, I don't know. Not too bad. We'll throw some brakes on an Odyssey, go eat lunch, and then maybe we'll hit it with a power washer, see what it looks like. Here's our first bath. Just a quick little power washer. Spray down. So that fender and that door we're gonna have to do some kind of color matching on. Probably just get one of the parts stores to mix us up that color in a aerosol can. Because the hood looks great and most of the door looks good. But I believe it was hit on this side at one point during his life. We'll sand and prime that fender down, spray it, and we'll just spray the whole door. And once again, it won't be perfect, but it will at least be the same color, green. And then you cut it and buff it like I still have to do on the other Dodge, and it'll look pretty snazzy. Plus, you can use that leftover spray paint to touch up places like on this rocker where your leg drags over it. I believe this one might be cleaner than the Dodge we bought. The Dodge had a little bit of rot in the back, not significant, but besides the rear struts and stuff, this one is fantastic looking. Just need to clean it up. You could probably even sand and fill this. Look, it's got moss growing in it. You could probably sand and smooth that out, touch it up with some paint too if you felt frisky. But it ain't bad. It's a pretty green color. Oh, you got to go around and cut all the zip ties off. So there was one on the grill.
Is this one holding the mirror?
Is it holding the mirror?
I don't think it is.
No. One on the mirror for no reason. You got a chain.
Okay, where's that from?
And then one on the muffler. I don't know what all the zip ties were about. I think his kids might have just got out there in the yard and found some.
I wonder, can you buy these?
Little pieces of trim?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what's it called.
I don't know.
Exactly how would you put it in? That's the other question.
I don't know that either. Never had to change them. Both sides are missing.
I've seen them gone on a bunch of them.
I don't know. Well, we washed it. Next, we'll have to start cleaning on the inside. You guys won't even know this, but it's a whole different day. Same video for you folks. Different day for us. Charlie taking him a nap on his little pad over there, directly in front of the torpedo heater because he knows how to stay warm. A little bit chilly out this morning. Inside the old nasty Ranger Danger. These seats got to get cleaned. Probably gonna power wash them. Don't know if I'll do that today, but it's in the thought process. These floor mats gotta go. They're just awful. Maybe power washing them will make them usable, but yeah, the driver window had been down in the truck for the last 2-3 years that it had sat, and he was a smoker, so there's cigarette butts, ton of nails, screws, batteries, different odds and ends and
He was a
lefts.
heat and air
And he did heat and air. Oh, he was an HVAC guy. So anyway, I'm gonna set the camera up on a tripod, get a vacuum cleaner and start sucking up some of this nasty shit. And Dad's gonna work on pulling the door panels off because we have brand new door handles to go on it since both of them are broken. They don't do anything. But we got some new ones ordered. They came in this morning, $10 a pop. We're gonna throw them in there and see if they'll pop the door.
You want to film any of them? I already.
Well, the door handles are in, and the truck's on the lift. Dad's underneath it, and so is the transmission jack. So we're gonna go ahead and address this rear main oil leak. I don't know if I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I mentioned already, one of the things was the rear main oil leak. So you can see it actively leaking and actively making a puddle. So what we've done is Dad's took all the bolts and all the hoodads and whatnot apart. We're gonna strap this thing with the cheapest camouflage strap that we can find to the transmission jack. I hope to God everything holds together as it comes down. And I know we've already got it undone up there, all that's out. The hydraulic clutch is a quick connect. That's pretty much it. Bell housing bolts, harness, all that good stuff. Let's get it out of here. So there's your clutch inside there, pressure plate, all that good stuff. And it doesn't look too bad. This is supposed to not be too old. The date code on it says 3 of 2019, if you can see it right there. Inside the transmission there's a literal puddle of oil and pieces of rubber from the seals that this thing has been swelling up and eating out. It's pretty nasty, but we've also got a new sleeve cylinder inside there. And he did tell us he put a pilot bearing in it too when he had it apart, so that's good.
They are a pain.
Yeah. Dad's gonna pull this clutch off, so we're gonna pull the flywheel and inspect the rear main, which I can see a puddle of oil as we speak running down the side. So if we get it off quick enough, we'll be able to just look, see where it's coming from. Oh, I can already see it.
See it coming out of it?
Yep, coming out the side.
One more bolt.
There she be. And it's actually leaking from the seal itself all the way around. So I wonder if they pucked it up when they put it in. Oh wow, look at that. I was swelled. Look how much that thing's...
Is that a gas kit supposed to be behind it?
I don't know, but
I think it does cover.
Dang, that thing is so swollen. Look at that.
Holy shit. It is pouring. You know, this looks new. Like you said, that don't look new.
No, the seal
Yeah,
doesn't. But they said they put one in it. So
Okay. So,
pop that off and...
was it 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 or 5/16. Yeah, it is leaking from the seal. Oh man, all this could have been avoided. We got the old rear main seal out. On these 2.3s, it's an entire plate. Once again, this is the Mazda 2.3, not the Ford 2.3. The Ford 2.3 with the timing belt has just a seal you knock around it. This being Mazda's garbage engine, it's got the big old plate. So it's like the front wheel drive ones. And here is the seal. This is the side that you see. If you flip this thing, what? Oh, if you flip this thing over, this is the side that mates against the engine, and right there you can see the seal when they shoved it on there. That got pulled back, and on top of that I don't think that they greased this when they put it on, so I normally just use some kind of like assembly lube. I've got some old ARP stuff here and a little like a trial size little that they send you that stuff like cam bearings and stuff like that. I try to save them all. And another thing that's not mentioned but should be done is you need to take a little dab of RTV high temp gasket maker and run across from the corner of this seam all the way over here. Put your glob on there. The little gasket on that guy over there doesn't fill into them cracks very well, and it can cause it to seep from the sides. So put you a line of RTV on it, put the seal back in there, and grease this up. Use an assembly lube or something like I'm going to use to put that on. Now on LS engines, you have to have an alignment plate to put these rear main seals on if you change the whole plate. On the 2.3, they don't actually offer that because this bolt hole and this bolt hole have these two little dowels on it, right here and right here. And what these do is they protrude out just enough to align that seal into the back of the engine, so you can't get it in wrong. Once you push it on there and wiggle it, you'll feel it kind of slip into those two little spots. And that's all it takes. And so Dad's grabbing a new rear main. I'm gonna clean all this mess up. We'll put it back together. Some assembly lube on it. It slid the new one right on. But check this out. This one actually came with a fancy little tool that was sitting in there, sitting over it the other direction, like through there. You line it up, push it over it, and then it pops it right on. That is neat. I'm gonna save that. Put a bead of RTV across the bottom. Transmission is reinstalled, slaves hooked back up, cross members in, harness is back on, all the bell housing bolts are in. Drive shaft is not in because over here, there's the yoke that slides into the transmission. This end down here, let's see if I can get you to see this. I don't know how I can do this. Let's see. There you go. See it? Loosey goosey. So we got a set of U-joints. We're gonna press these out. Press a new set in real quick. Just put the new U-joints in the rear end. There they are. Or the drive shaft on the rear end side. Check her out. Nice. And these are the serviceable ones. So you have a grease fitting right there, which is always nice. The ones up here on the transmission were good and tight, just like German spec says it should be. So we're going to leave those alone. And remember, folks, it's a cheap truck. You don't want to go spending too much money on it. You get buried that way. But she's looking good. We got to drop it on the ground and put all the shifter stuff back together on the inside. And then we can start this bad boy up and see if it leaks. Checking fluids and hooking our battery up, and while he did that, I took the time to wipe all the snot off the steering wheel. I cannot stand it. Was sticky. You know what I'm talking about. So I got a rag and some awesome and just soaked it, and now it is super nice. Wipe the old clutch star down and the gear knob too. Fire in the hole. Hey, we must have done something right. It's working. Back you up a little bit. Let's see if we've got clutch in. Hey, we've got a gear. And it moves. And it moves. Might have to go back and do a little bit of bleeding on it, but it's pretty much there. I like it. Just need to wipe down the rest of the interior and source that trim cover for the door and find a couple tires. A little bit of paint on the door and the fender. We got us a pickup truck, folks. Now I can wipe it down. There we go, turbo mode. And just get a little rag and some snot. Look at it. So pretty. You can sell a clean piece of crap way faster than you can sell a dirty piece of crap, and I believe that any day. I don't care if it's got a blown motor, transmission, rear end, or not even a motor. If it's clean, it will sell. Nice. I do believe this is where we will stop part 1 of this video. We have fixed the rear main seal oil leaks. We have installed a new battery and cables. We have replaced the fuel pump, changed some universal joints, cleaned the interior up, got it washed. It's looking pretty decent. We're gonna try to get some paint mixed up to match the fender and the door the best we can. Dad's going to the salvage yard in the morning to see if we can find some wheels and tires. There's a place that it's a scrap place, and it's cheaper if we just buy the whole wheel and tire. So maybe some aluminum ones off an Explorer would look nice. We'll just see what they've got. We also got the door handles installed, so all the door handles work, and we got the interior washed a little bit. Still could use shampooing on the seats and the carpets, but it is getting presentable. Nothing sticky anymore to the touch. Very nice. Still need that cover piece. And I'm gonna look around on the old face balls because it's where we find everything else. I might can find a tonneau cover or something to go on this bed, and that would look really nice. I've still got to wash the Ford mat because it's got the original Ford mat in the back, and change the third taillight bulb, and of course change the fluids and stuff in the engine. So we're getting close, folks, and if you've watched this far, thank you so much for watching. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm going to sign off on this one. Thank you for watching us bring this little pickup truck back to life. We will catch you in the next video. Yeah, thanks for watching.